One of the first things that I want to tackle on this project is the front bumper and painting that. So I'm going to start off with Scotch Brighting as much as I can of it with it on the bumper or on the truck, and then I'm going to take it off and get the parts that I can't really get like under the winch. I'm going to take the winch off, and then that like the winch guide, and then get behind it too. Right now I have the winch off. It's just held on my 4 nuts and bolts right there, but tell you what, I've never lifted up one of those things until now. They're a lot heavier than you think, but it wasn't too bad. I just kind of propped it out of the way so I don't have to disconnect any of the wiring. And then I'm gonna go ahead and take this part off, the guide, and then take off the 2 remaining bolts. I went ahead and got the front bumper all sanded up. This is as much as I'm gonna do for this type of project. I feel like this is enough sanding, and I'm not gonna be able to get all of it without sanding or sandblasting it, so I felt for the way that I was doing it, this is gonna be good enough. I'm gonna start with doing the back first, because you're not gonna see that much, and if there's any sort of paint reaction, I can stop and reassess it. But this has to be one of the most interesting finds on this truck. I can't believe I didn't see these the other day, but they are boob dice or boob like mirror hanger things. Isn't that funny? But right now I'm working on trying to get this amp going. He said that he probably blew a fuse. I'm not too sure on where their fuse is and why it blew. I think that was for the winch, but I'm gonna try to get this going too while I'm working on the bumper. This is an update on the bumper. We got some paint on it. I'm just using this rust stop, self-explanatory, to stop the rust on there, but it's not perfect because it wasn't great metal to start with, or like not a great surface, I mean. But I think it's coming out pretty decent. I still might do the bed liner on top of it. I just wanted something to stop the rust for now, and well, hopefully that's what it's doing. So we'll see. I've got the bumper back on after being painted, the winch back on. I've been kind of going through this wiring just to figure out what it is and what to connect and what to not connect. I put another main bolt through there. I still don't know how I'm gonna do the back mounts, but I did repaint the frame part right there too. Unfortunately, only 3 of the bolts wanted to go back in. This one is just spinning, so I have to figure that out. Other than that, I think I already mentioned that the subs do work. They just don't work that great. So I've been kind of just working on putting some wire loom on some spots that are going through the frame that I don't want to be bad, and just kind of cleaning up the wiring. There was a whole extra set of plugs or just wires just sitting there. I put them in the back, but they're just kind of sitting in the engine bay. So hopefully I don't have a spark issue. These are those random wires that I was talking about, just figuring where they go. I plugged that one in. That looks like it's like a voltage regulator thing. Not sure what it will do, but I'm about to fire it up here in a minute. So I 3D printed these little tube ends for the bumper, and I already made one. I made it in black, but when I was putting it in, I actually ended up hitting it a little too hard, or it kind of broke this little plastic bit that I 3D printed. So I'm going to take that black one out and replace it with this purple one. I already put the other purple one on this side. I think it looks pretty good. I don't know, I just thought the purple would be something different than black, and I can always print black ones too. It is nice with the black, it kind of looks more sleek, but I guess I want something flashy for now. that actually came out a lot easier than I thought. So that's what it looks like before without a bar end or tube end. I'm gonna go ahead and hit this one in, try not to break it. These are a little tight just because of these grooves, but if you're gentle with it, it's fine. I just got this one in, and you can see why the other one probably broke. It's because the tube wasn't cut completely straight, so that end on the, here, let me grab a screwdriver. This end right here is higher up than this end, so I was looking at this still thinking I had about an 1/8 inch gap, but in fact it was already to the bar. So I just didn't hit it all the way in. I might take some black silicone and go around it just to hide it, but it doesn't really bother me that much. I can always just take it, and when I put a new one in, I can grind that flat, but that'll be further down the road. So that's what it looks like in. I did that one and that one too. I think it looks fine. Some bonus mini bike content. This is my 1973 Honda Z50 Mini Trail. I like ripping this thing. So it's been sitting for a couple months. I did ride it a little bit during the winter, but I think that was around December, and it's March now, so it's been a while. I'm gonna see, this thing usually starts pretty well, so I want to see how many kicks it's gonna take for me to start it. All I did was put some random gas that I found in it. Got the key on. I am gonna pull the choke a little bit. Let's see what it does. Oh man, my foot hit the ski of the snowmobile. Almost forgot to mention on the Toyota, under the hood, I had the old timer polish up the Edelbrock carb cover for me. I think it looks pretty good. All shiny, right next to the really oily engine. Also, those terminal cover box things that I found in the glove box, yeah, I think that's where they go. So I'm gonna put those on after and see if they fit. I still have no idea how to tap into this. I'm gonna have to look at it more, but we'll see. Yeah, thanks Dad. And I forgot to mention a couple things that I did. I actually took that center console out, and I removed the speaker that was on the top, and then I added it to the back. And then this is the switch panel, or the, like, yeah, I guess switch panel for the new electrical box that I put in. And then you can see I wrapped it with like this kind of fake leather vinyl wrap. And there's also some carpet like cushion that I used under there. And then we also, if you can see in the back, have some new door panels. Got one on this side too. This side definitely came out nicer than the other side, but this was the side that I did second. And then I'm reusing the original armrest right there. And you can see I washed up the mirror ornament things, the boobs, and they actually they smell pretty good in here because I used those little scent beads in the washer, and now it's kind of like a little air freshener too. So yeah, I just wanted to include that I did the center console and I also did the door cards, and then to show you the switch panel. See right there, I added the switch panel. This was off my Cadillac, and I gotta fix those couple holes right there with the shiny Edelbrock top. I did do an oil change. That's why the top of this is all cleaned off, because I kind of went through it and cleaned it up a little bit. Same thing with the oil filter. I ended up putting a new one on. This one is the clear one. That way so you can kind of see all the gunk that is inside of it. The last one I ended up pulling off had a bunch of black stuff on the inside, so I'm glad that I switched it out. Again, there's the the switch panel out of the Cadillac. That's what that new switch panel, or the buttons, are in there. So I still have to switch these over to work with this truck, but they do work with the fans so far. And then I have the random red wire that was just kind of sitting there also plugged in. I don't know what that wire does yet, but I'm just gonna leave it plugged in and hopefully figure it out later. But yeah. I almost forgot to mention, I did add these little light pods on the back as kind of rock lights or backup lights, but as I used them, I found out that they really don't like the output that they produce, because these are more like actual headlights where they have that hard line and then shoot down, where I think I kind of need like a floodlight that will kind of drown out the whole area with light. So I'm probably gonna have some of those on order. And then I've been looking at getting a light bar for the front of this, but I haven't found one that I think will look good on it.